Alright, so Seven's boat was hit somewhere in Caribbean by United States Army. Well, here I would agree that probably it transports some of the brick look-liking luggage. Maybe in this case it was definitely a drug boat. It was kaboomed by United States Navy, maybe even by some of the drone like MQ Reaper, capable to carry air-to-ground or in this case air-to-ocean missiles. Well, I have my own personal opinion on this topic. It seems like United States expanded its military action too far. I mean, not the territory, but what they might do with their military. Let me explain. So, United States is using its military force after all against not some sort of the army of Venezuela, but allegedly against some sort of the members of cartels or civilians who could work for those cartels on those boats. Actually, I don't think that cartels will send their own people on those boats, risking their own members. So maybe they just hire someone to travel somewhere. We are speaking about really distant territories from the United States, so that local drug trafficking could happen between those islands and the countries around Venezuela. Yeah, after all, there is the great probability for those drugs to appear in the United States soil. But whether this military action is the solution for the problem, I don't think so. I think it's the big PR campaign done for two main reasons. First of all, to show that American army is really presented in the region and even may fire some of the missiles, so it's the signal for Venezuelan leader Maduro. Here you go, we have our army, which is ready to strike at any moment, but what I may tell that without air carriers, United States will not start any sort of the landing, at least operation on territory of Venezuela. Some experts say that there could be a war in Venezuela, and if we check different other dictators whom Trump, let's be honest, well, he may not love them, but he sympathized towards, for example, Putin, Xi, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, but Venezuelan leader is just like disgusting POS for Donny. I think that even for Hamas, Donny doesn't have this attitude. That's why he put $50 million reward for Venezuelan leader Maduro. So the tensions are high, and striking those boats, well, it's one more way to influence this region, playing with muscles. And the second reason for those strikes is pure internal policy of the United States. For Donald Trump to show to his electorate, mostly MAGA community, that he is fighting against those drug cartels. You see, we use our military for the purpose now, hitting all of those boats, and there will be less drugs in the streets, but it doesn't work like that because connections are being established by those cartels for a very, very long time, and it's not that easy to cut those at once. Striking the boats, it doesn't help because someone on territory of the United States of America, maybe even high officials, they are in this business. So the only possible variant how to deal with the problem is to cut it on territory of the United States of America. But Donny will never tell to his MAGA supporters that the problem is out there. Yeah, cartels are selling their shit out there, but the distribution chain is connected very strongly to America itself. So making the fire show from those boats, few of the boats, it doesn't really help to prevent the real drug trafficking. Plus, many people, including me, we have some of the questions towards those boats, because the first one, which was kaputted, it carried 11 people on board, and some other one, I think the last month, 6 people on board. It doesn't look like some sort of the drug delivery. As for me, it is simply too many people for the payload they carry. It's better to take more baggage because it's kind of risky nowadays to travel on the boat, so each boat should take more cargo. So in the first case, and in the case that happened the last month, it was probably not the drug trafficking, but human trafficking. Some of the illegal immigrants were trying to reach some sort of the country, not necessarily the United States of America. And what happened? Well, United States kaboomed the boat anyways. The last month, J.D. Vance, a vice president of the United States of America, already commented the military action of the United States Army in Caribbean, killing cartel members who poison our fellow citizens is the highest and best use of our military. And some of the user Brian Crushstein said that killing the citizens of another nation who are civilians without any due process is called a war crime. J.D. Vance replied, I don't give a shit what you call it. And yeah, I understand that drug trafficking is pretty much bad, and if it is on a large scale, if it really poisons your country, your people, there could be extra measures taken, but after all, you use military force definitely against civilians. It is not a war, and bombing someone's boat in international waters definitely could be classified as a war crime. It is a very slippery road because one day you use military force against some sort of the drug cartel boats, as they say, because since the start of those attacks, no one presented the real evidence. Who are those people in those boats and what did they carry? Like, we don't have the samples, we just have tweets from Donald Trump White House officials that they have the proofs that those were connected to trafficking, yeah? But the proofs were not yet shown to the public as the evidence, so that's why I still have the question. So if we speak about the democratic values, never ever you should use army like that. At least you should try to stop the boat, detain it, and arrest those wrongdoers, yeah? And later on, I don't know, put them in a jail, or it depends on particular laws in particular country. For example, in some of the Asian countries, those drug dealers, if they caught, they'll be kaputted. But those countries, they do not smash those boats or individuals with some of the grenades, missiles. No, there's still a process. Even though that the outcome is just flatlining, cancellation, zeroing of the individuals who sell big portions of those special samples. So my opinion that it is the excessive use of the force which could backfire towards the United States of America itself. You see, if you violate one international law, there is a temptation to violate more and more, including the laws of your own country. And we know Trump's rhetorics towards his own citizens of Chicago, Portland, war rhetorics actually. So there are huge risks for United States of America. It is very risky and could be uncontrolled. Guys, just my opinion on the situation with the boats. We'll see. Probably United States will continue to target those boats. For now there were 7, maybe will be more. Well guys, it's all what I want to say today. Ciao.